All right, here we go. We're live finally. Hello, guys. Good afternoon for you, and thank you very much for joining. It's such a pleasure all of the time. And I'm gonna tell you like a crazy story that happened yesterday, and then we're gonna we're gonna get down to business. In the meantime, let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me. If you have any trouble or anything. I'm very sorry for my voice. I lost it and it's still not back, 100%. And yep. So in the meantime, right before starting, let me just let me just tell you what happened yesterday. So I was coming back home. It was pretty early, like 9 p.m. So very early. I was like, let me go to sleep soon because I have the webinar tomorrow. I want to be fresh for the guys. And one street away from my home, uh, a lady completely drunk, she crossed the intersection, she reversed, took full speed and hit us, destroying our car. She was stoned, drunk, under the influence of whatever drugs, you name it. And she didn't want, of course, she didn't want the police to come. She was freaking out. At a certain point, she was like, "Let me leave, or I shoot you." She took the gun. She threatened us with a gun, and she left. So that's Texas. That is my Texas experience. Just a funny thing that funny when you tell them. When you live there, when you live it, it's not a funny. But just just for you to know what is the background that I'm coming from for today. And yeah, pretty crazy. Okay. Yes, we hear you. Everything's fine. Very, very, very good. All right, what I want to do today, we're going to go through a little bit of theory. I'm going to share with you some tricks, some tips and tricks to improve your resume, your CV. We're going to take a look on how you can improve your LinkedIn as well, your online presence. And most important, since we have the chat, we can communicate live. I would like to go through the CVs of some of you. We can comment that. We can see what is well done and what can be improved. So very good. If you have any question in any moment during the live, please use and abuse the chat, um, so that I can see your question. Grazie, Elio. And all right, now let me share my screen like this. Let me know if you can see the screen. And welcome to this session. So it's a pleasure, and thank you guys for taking the time and for putting all of this together. And I'm gonna try to do my best to convey you everything that I know. And we're gonna see how you can improve your LinkedIn, your resume, and we're gonna analyze your CVs. Let's move on. First and most important question: why do we need a good resume? I mean, we have our degree, all of the exams that you passed, the projects that you have done. Why do I also need to spend so much time and so much energy in producing a good resume? The answer is that, unfortunately, right now, to find a great job, our degree is not enough. It's a process to find a great job. We're gonna analyze one of the most important part today. The three part of our journey to find our dream job is: number one, study. We want to study the companies and we're going to study ourselves. Number two, and this is what we're going to do today, marketing. Number three, storytelling. So let me explain a little bit better these three steps. Step number one, we want to study the environment. We want to study the companies that might be interested to us and that we might be interested to. Once we have studied the environment, the company, once we know which are the things and the skills that those companies require, and once we also know which are the skills and the capabilities that we have, we put those two things together and we market ourselves. Number two, we develop our resume. We let the people know that we are on the market and we land the interview. This is a very important point that I want to stress out. The goal of this part of having a great resume is to land the interview. It's a marketing document, the resume. We're gonna talk about this so much. So what we want to do is to put just enough information for the people to be interested in us and to be willing to know more about us. This is what we're gonna do. That's why we don't need, we will not need like a super long resume. Step number 3, extremely interesting. I call that storytelling. This is when we actually get hired. Storytelling, that's the interview. And it is so important to make the interview, to turn it from a person asking questions to another. We want to turn the interview into a conversation. And there are a lot of techniques and best practices that we can use to do so. So we're not gonna go through this process right now, but if you want, we can set up another webinar and we can study the interviewing process. But today we're gonna be focused on the market. I want you to land the first job interview. What is very important, as I mentioned, your degree, unfortunately, it's not enough anymore. We have seen that, especially in the oil and gas industry. We've seen that so much. The demand of skilled workforce, because of the downturn, because of COVID and stuff, decreased. There are less jobs, but the number of people graduating is still increasing. So a lot of offer, lack of demand, very, very high competition. That's why it is so important to spend time and to improve our resume and our online presence. Okay, let's do a quick real life example. Now let me go full screen so you can see the two CVs better. All right, so now I want you to imagine that you are in the HR department. So you are a recruiter and you need a person to work for your company. On average, it's proven that a recruiter spends between 4 to 9 seconds to just look at one CV. Now, if you just have 4 seconds of someone's time, which one of the two resumes would you like to be? The one on the left or the one on the right? You see, and this is why it is so important to have an impactful and visual, pleasant resume. And we're gonna do that. Another thing, we want our resume to be short, because have you ever experienced this thing? A friend of yours has to tell you something and it sends you a very, very, very long text. Or this is something that we do a lot in Italy. We use a lot voice messages. We have WhatsApp, we send like 2, 3, 4 minutes of voice messages. And you see that and you're like, wow, this is so long. Now I don't have the time. You're scared by the length. Maybe then you start listening to it and time flies. The story is very compelling, but to actually press play and to invest 4 minutes of your life in listening to something that you don't really know if it's interesting or not, to do the step of pressing play, you're very reluctant. You have a lot of defense before doing that. And this is the same thing with your CV. If I send you 4 pages of CVs, the length will scare you. Maybe those are the most interesting 4 pages ever, but just because of, oh man, this is so long, the recruiter probably will not pay too much attention because it's too long. We have a very limited time span. So that's why it's so important to be just 1 page. Now, let's see how we can actually develop a pretty good resume. Once again, as I've already mentioned, and I will bore you to death for how many times I will say this, your resume, it's a marketing document. It gotta be short. If you want to sell this phone, you can do 2 things. You can create a very customized and interesting advertising, like 30-second ad, or you can give me the instruction booklet, a document this thick that includes all the amazing characteristics and functionalities of this phone. But you know, instruction booklets have never sold a single phone. Marketing and advertising have. So we're gonna create our own marketing. We're gonna advertise ourselves. So don't be scared if you know the CV. Oh man, this CV is too visual. This is too modern. Um, it's good. Don't worry. You know, if something is pretty, it doesn't mean that it's not good. Okay, let's see an example. Um, oh, please, feel free to ask questions whenever you want. You know, no problem. Okay, so this is my CV, and let's see which are the four main elements that we want to make sure that our resume has. First and foremost, our resume has to be short. We want the resume to be short because of you know the fear that we just mentioned before. If something is long, it's scary, and you know people have a very limited time and a very limited attention span. So we want our resume to be short and impactful. Number two, number two, it has to be clear. Now, what I mean by clear, I mean that if I look at your resume, I need to be able in 1 second to understand what is that you do, what is your job qualification, what is your title. And you see, the best thing to do so is to put your job qualification right under your name. You see, that's my name, right under Operation Management Engineer. The recruiter that is going through my CV, in 1 second, he or she will know that, okay, this guy, he is an operational management engineer. So the kind of job that this man can do for me are ABC. It helps the people to understand what you are and what your value is in no time. Third element, and this is going to be the most difficult element to include. Um, we need to have some numerical results, and because this is the let's say the most difficult quality that some resume has, because it's not easy to come up with some numbers. This is why it is so important that you spend time in understanding how you can put some numbers in your resume. Let's take a look at mine. So for example, here, line number one, manage global RFQ, saving $250,000, reduced by 80%, saved 35K, reduced by this, improved by that, qualified 3 new suppliers. You see how many numbers. Numbers are very important because they convey the sense that you have actually achieved something. You know, achievements are much, much more important than responsibilities. You know, if you managed, I don't know, if you managed a team or if you managed a project, okay, good. You have a very nice responsibility. But what was the achievement of that project? What did you produce? What was the value that you brought to your company? This is so important. That's why numerical results are so important. And another thing, numerical results are extremely easy to understand, because our fourth point is that, let me put my face here. So your CV needs to be understandable by a non-technical person. So if you notice, I tried to avoid as much as possible acronyms, technical jargon, names that are not clear to people who are not in my own niche, in my own sector. And when I did not, so there are some examples, you see RFQ, OCPH, all of those acronyms might not be clear, you know, to someone who's not in my same sector, but those acronyms are paired with some numerical results. So maybe the recruiter who's reading through my CV, he or she doesn't know what an RFQ is, but he or she will understand immediately that I say, you know, that the result of that project was $250,000 saved for the company. So that's why numbers are very much important. And one of the things that you can tell me is, okay, Pietro, but we are fresh graduates. We have maybe one or two internships. We don't have so many numerical results. That's true, but not 100% true, because most likely you had some projects that you have done when group projects during your university, for the university. The project, probably you started from point A and you arrived to point B, and most likely there are some numbers involved in that. If you when you when you were interns, when you did your internship to in whatever company you were, for sure you participated to some projects. Perfect. We want to put those projects and we want to put some numbers related to those projects. If you worked in a team with other 100 people reaching one target, perfect. Put that target. Of course you work in team. It doesn't have to be something that you achieved alone. Okay, because 99.9% of the jobs are made in teams, so that's okay. Good. So let's keep these four principles in mind. Short, gotta be clear, numerical results, and non-technical. So very simple. And let's move on. What we want to include here, we will need to find some keywords. Okay, and this is going to be very important also for LinkedIn. So now what I want to do is to show you the process, okay, of how to craft your resume. Just a quick note before that, there might be some cases in which you will not go for a visual resume, but you would go for a ATS proof CV, for a CV which is in Word. Why? When do you want to do that? Let me go full screen so you can see the two examples better. So when do we want to use the second resume? If the company that you're applying to, yeah, here we go, perfect. This is answer the Zaki's question. So when the company you're applying for has an ATS, so an applicant tracking system, which is essentially a computer that automatically scans the CVs, looking for keywords, looking for some experiences, looking for some specific things, and it automatically selected the most suitable CVs. In that case, and just in that case, you can go for a Word type resume, because the ATS likes Word resumes. Those are very easy to understand from a machine. You want to use very standard wording, so work experience, education. You don't want to use some crazy thing like this is what I do in my life. No, work experience. You don't want to use tables, because sometimes the ATS are not good in understanding tables and stuff. But for the rest, all of the four same principles apply. Short, clear, numerical results, and non-technical. One thing that I did here in my ATS resume, I put a bunch of keywords. Now, yes, this is okay. Another thing that you can do is actually write a short description about yourself, but in that description you want to make sure that you mention as many keywords as possible. So you write the description of yourself, including the most important keywords. And now, $1 million question: what and which are the right keywords? Okay, this is a term I use so much, keywords. Okay, but how can we find the right keywords? So let's move on. Let me just see a couple of questions. Another mechanical engineer, should I combine? So I have two professions. If we can say one is graphic design and digital SEO, another mechanical engineer, that's wonderful. It's very eclectic. You're covering a lot of things. Of course, you can include both because it's very. I mean, it gives you something more for sure, not something less. So please do, yeah, include the two. Under skills, under experience. So absolutely. Let me just read the question of Zakis about the ATS. What about ASTM system? If our resume go through. Uh, exactly. Okay. So I think this answer your question, Zaki. Let me know if that was enough. And I mentioned keywords. So let's move on. Let's see which is the right process. Where Okay, let me just go full screen. Which one is the right process to build your resume? Because this is a mistake that some people tend to do, especially when we write the resumes for the first time. So we start with ourselves. So we start thinking about, okay, what are my qualities? What are the things that I've done in my university, in my job, and you think and judge yourself by yourself. So it's me thinking about my career and thinking about, okay, what are the most important things? Okay, this is good, but it's not the right process. This is marketing, and when you do marketing, you don't start with yourself, with your product. You start with your target. You start with the people that you want to reach. So in this case, we need to start with the companies. So the first and most important step that you will do is we are going to go to the company's websites. We are going to go on LinkedIn. We're going to go on job seeking websites, and we are going to look for what my audience want. So what my companies want. Which are the companies that I'm most interested into? Perfect. Let me go to their website. Let me see all of the job openings that you have. Let me take each and every job descriptions and let me analyze them. Which are the things that they require? Which are the skills that appear the most time in the job descriptions? Once you know that, you know what your audience want. In that moment, and just in that moment, you start thinking about what you have. So, okay, among all of these experiences that are required, among all of these qualifications, which are the ones that I have? Which are the experiences that I have done that align better with what the companies want? And that, in that moment, you will start crafting your resume. Third and final thing, you will put your resume and give the final touch to your resume, and we're gonna make it more elegant, more pretty, more attractive, more impactful. But these are the three main blocks. Number one, study your audience. Number two, cross-reference. What do I have with what the companies want? Number three, let's put this in a little bit more aesthetic and elegant form, and let's get the job done. So how can you understand what the companies want? Job descriptions, company's website, and connecting with people. So let me go away so you can see it better. So connecting with people in the companies that you want to go to work to, and trust me, it's unbelievable how kind most of the people are. If you want to go to a company, you add a couple of people that work in that company, maybe in the position that you would like to apply for, and you can simply ask them, I'm a fresh graduate, I'm very interested in your company, and very interested in the job that you do. I have applied and I want to apply, or I want to apply. Can you please give me some feedbacks? Can you explain me a little bit better. How's your life? How do you like working for the company? What are the main recommendations that you would give me? And believe me, you will be surprised by how many people are very kind and will spend time explaining things to you. And LinkedIn is great for this. Number two, what do I have? We cross-reference. Sorry, one second. We cross-reference. So what my audience want with what I have to offer. You craft a little bit, you understand about that, you craft your resume, and then finally you actually build your resume abiding to the 4 golden rules. Okay. Let me see the other question that we have. So Abdel Kander, should I include jobs I've had that don't relate to the job that I'm seeking? Okay, this is a very interesting question. So let me address that. So should you include jobs that are not related to the job that you're doing now? This is very common in fresh graduates. My answer is yes, if those jobs matter. So one thing one thing that happened to me, I used to be a waiter for, during college and stuff. I worked a lot as a waiter, which is absolutely not related to whatever, I was doing with mechanical engineering, of course. So what I did, I used that experience to prove a couple of skills that I set. So for example, work under stressful and tiring condition, and being a team player, being good engaging with people. Those are soft skills. Okay, those 3 skills: working under pressure, teamwork, and able to relate with people. And how did I prove that I have that skills? What was my experience that proved that I have those skills? There I insert, that I used to be a waiter for years during college. So my recommendation would be, find the main skills that are related to the job that you have done, and use that job to testify and to prove that you have those particular skills. Okay, because one thing it's writing that you can work in team. Another thing is writing, yes, I can work in team, and I worked for 2 years, during summers in this team, doing this, doing that. Even if it's not related, it's still proof. 1, that you're a person that apply himself or herself, and 2, that you actually have those skills. So I hope that answers your question. Let me go on. I am very sorry, my throat, it's keep on hurting pretty bad. Okay, now let me go full screen and let me give you 3 very interesting tools that you can use to create a great resume. So number 1, you can go to Canva. Canva, it's a very interesting company. They have a lot of free templates that you can use to create your own resume. If you just Google Canva visual resume, you will find plenty of them. Those are not 100% customizable, but still, it's a very, very, very good start. Number 2, you can use specific websites to create your own visual resume. Websites like myperfectresume.com, and again, just Google resume builder, and and you will find a lot of websites. Those are not 100% customizable, but still they offer a vast variety of different resumes and a lot of good templates. The website, of course, you will need to pay for those resumes. Third and final option, you can use my templates. So I have some of the templates that I developed for in these years, and I will be more than happy to give them to you. To have my templates, you can add me on LinkedIn. You shoot me a message, and I will give you the templates. One thing, since we're here, if you want to sustain, and to support what I'm doing, you're already on my channel, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps me a lot. And of course, my templates are 100% customizable because they are made in on PowerPoint, so you can change whatever, and they are for free, of course. That's my gift to you, and my best wishes for you to land your dream job. So please, again, my name on LinkedIn, Pietro Galli. It's here on the presentation. It's on the channel. Subscribe to the channel. Add me on LinkedIn. Ask me for my resume, and I will send you all of my templates. Okay. We mentioned again keywords a lot of time. Let's see another place where keywords are very important, which is our friend LinkedIn. Now, having a good resume is absolutely very important, okay? Having a great LinkedIn profile, I would even say that it's more important than that in some cases. So, we're gonna take a look at 4 things that are important when we are talking about LinkedIn. The first one is our header. Then we're gonna see and we're gonna take a look at the skills section. Third, how important and how to grow a good network. So in the header, again, keywords are one of the most important things. So let me show you how to get those keywords. Okay, so what did I do? This is something this is the homework that I am giving you. I would like you to go online on websites like LinkedIn and you look for a job. All of the companies that you're interested, the company's website, and I would like you to go on websites like Indeed, Monster, all of those job seeking websites. So the jobs where the company put their there is something. What happened? Sorry, I was hearing an echo of the webinar. Okay, so I was saying, go on these websites and look for the job description, the job posting. I want you to collect 10, 15 different job descriptions for positions that you think that you would like to have, okay, and that you would be a good fit. Once you have those job descriptions, I would like you to study them, to look for each and every experience and skills that they require. Now, we can do that. I would like you to do that live and to do that, reading through that. But then to help you, you can use this website, which is Word Cloud, and you can go here, okay, word list. Sorry. Okay, new word cloud, paste, type text. You can copy and paste all of your job descriptions here, apply, and what this website does, you will immediately go to word list and you will find all of the words that are repeated the highest number of times, And this is so important because that those kind of jobs are very interested in those keywords. That's why you want to have those skills, those keywords, those experience. This is that's a good start to tell you, okay, these are the words that probably I need to include in my resume because those are repeated so many times. Okay, so this is a little trick that you can use. Of course, on the side, also study and read the full job descriptions. Now, now that we have seen how to get the right keywords, let's see how we can actually develop a good network. So I would like all of you guys to connect with each other. The broader and the wider your network is, the better, okay? And then if you are active connecting with each other, endorsing each other's skills, this is very important, because at the end of the day, LinkedIn is a social network. And like every social network, it prefers active users. So if someone has my same resume, my same experience, lives in the same place where I live, everything like me, but I am more active than him on LinkedIn, when the recruiter goes on LinkedIn looking for valid candidates, I am going to pop up first because I'm more active on the platform. So you should endorse each other's skills. You should share content, create your own content, and also super easy, share someone else content, an article that you have found, a post that you have found, a video that could be interesting. Everything, of course, be professional. I mean, everything work related, not the videos of the kittens and pets. This helps dramatically. It's unbelievable. I have been contacted by so many recruiters, and I am not looking for a job. I am not actively looking for a job. Why? Because I'm very active on LinkedIn, and so they notice me before. And use LinkedIn groups. So find, for example, a petroleum engineer, find the group on LinkedIn about the group for petroleum engineer in Algeria, in whatever other country you want to apply, the global group of use those groups, connect with the people in your own industry. It sounds trivial, but it's very important. And yeah, one thing about the skills, could you please write those website in the comment? Yes. So it's Indeed, it's one, and we have Monster. Okay, those are and then we have Glassdoor. Glassdoor. Okay, and then LinkedIn. Or and you go on the company's page on LinkedIn, and there you can see the job posting. So for example, let's do I would like to show you Beatrice's example. She's a top executive on my company, but her LinkedIn profile is very well done. So that's why I stumbled on her profile, and I wanted to show you that. So header, you see in the header, just keywords. You see qualification, what you do, what you like, very specific to your work, all of the things that you do, all the qualification, the top skills that you have. So it would be petroleum engineer, field engineer, and other qualifications that you have, master degree in this, bachelor degree in that, everything that you find on the keywords that you have that are the most important for the job. Okay, so you find a lot of keywords that mention field, for example, field engineer for the kind of work that you do, perfect, bam. Include that qualification over there. As you see, very synthetic, just names, nothing, it's not a description. The description, it's here. This is the about section, and here you can be as long as you want. Having the bullet points, it's something that I love. So description that most of the people will not read, but everyone's attention will be caught by the bullet points. Bullet points are so powerful to catch someone's attention. So please do include that beside your long description. I talked about skills. So why are skills important? Because you see, I am watching Beatrice's profile, I'm watching at her skills, and bam, I see Jafar's name. I have no idea who's this person, but still, you see, I would see her name watching at her, I would see his name watching at Beatrice's profile. This is the power of endorsing someone else. It's beneficial to them because it increases the visibility of the person who is endorsed, but also indirectly elevates the visibility of the person endorsing. So if you know each other, if you are aware of each other's skills, please do connect and endorse each other. Okay. Um, very well. Now, I think this is just a very quick sum up of the the main things that I would love you to take into consideration while preparing your LinkedIn and preparing your resume. So resume, what are the 4 golden principles? You gotta be short, you gotta be clear, numerical results, and understandable by a non-technical. What do I mean by clear? Again, I will repeat you to death. Clear means that your job qualification, your your job position needs to be clear under your name. Mechanical engineer, petroleum engineer, web designer under your name. Bam. LinkedIn, we want to have a very nice header with all of the skills that we have seen. We want to endorse each other's skills and connecting and growing the network. How do we grow the network? We connect with the people we know. We connect to the people with the people that are in the groups that we like, and there are groups close to our career, and we grow our network sharing and creating content. Very extremely important. Okay, guys, if you have any question, please ask. Don't worry. Okay, now it's not over because it's time to go through your resume. So if you want to use the chat, please tell me your name. I have some of the resumes that I was sent some of the resume. Type your name and I will start from your CV. So we're gonna go in order. So I am going to analyze the CVs of people that are actually here right now with us. So let me see if among the people that commented so far, I have someone. Let me see. Okay, so let's just start with the first one with no particular order. This person was just the first, probably in alphabetical order. Okay, so let's take a look at this CV. And guys, one very important thing. We're here to improve, okay? So some of the CVs are very well done, some of the others are with very interesting content, but the form needs to be a little bit improved. Everything that I say, it's not an accuse. We are here to learn and to improve together. So please, if I tell something about the CV, something that you can improve, something that you can do better, don't take it personal. It's just some advice from someone who has been doing this for very long, and it doesn't mean that you are not good as a person. We're here to work and to learn from each other's experience. So with that being said, so let's see, what do we see when we see this CV? First thing, and that's something that I like, it's 1 page. Okay, so it is short, perfect. Is it clear? I mean, can I tell in 1 second what is that this person does? Yes and no. So what I would like here, Adele, after, right under the name, I would like you to put your job title. In this case, probably it would be mechanical engineer. Perfect. Let's see then. Um, it's good that the everything it's you have put everything in counter chronological order. What do I mean? Most recent thing on the top and going back in time, going down. So, education, 2018, 2020 at the beginning, and then going back. Good. Internship, very good. Now, extracurricular activities. Okay, what can we improve here? So, something that I would improve is I would love to see some numerical results. And I would love to know more about your internships. So I would put internships and experience before your education. You can exclude and you can cut the high school. I mean, you have a master degree. I mean, your high school diploma it's not going to be important. So you can save some space with that. Please keep the bachelor. Okay, so you can keep the bachelor and the master, but you can get rid of the high school. And here, for example, fresh graduate, fast learner with high leadership skills. Perfect. I mean, those are all very good skills. Take 10, 15 job descriptions. Take a look to which are the skills in those job descriptions that are repeated the most and rewrite part of this description, including those skills. Plus, another thing that I love is when you mention a skill, give me a proof that you have that skill. So, for example, um, what have you done in this? What have you done, for example, in here? It's pretty nice. So head of planning and strategy section for the petroleum club. So solve conflict, supporting club projects. This is a very very good example of what I was mentioning before. Use your experience to prove your skills. This is very well done. So yeah, don't hesitate. Put it first. Me personally, I would like a resume which would be a little bit more visual. Okay, so something more, something closer to. Let me go back. So something closer, to something like this. Okay, very simple, very clear, very visual. But again, or something closer to the one that I made for Nansrin. So pretty easy to read, catchy, but the content of your CV is very good. So this would be my 2 cents. So Zaid, you're next. And by the way, guys, I'm very sorry if I mispronounce some of your name. I'll do my best, and feel free to correct me in the chat if I say something, if I misspelled some of the name. Okay, so Zaid, I guess, or Zaid. Tell me, please. Okay, I see something which is very visual, and I like it. Um, Let me unzoom it 1 second. Let me go full screen so we can see better. Okay. Okay. All right. Same process. Is it short? Yes, 1 page. Good. We like it. Is it clear? Student of, this is a correction. When I was going through the CV, this is something that I highlighted. Student. Okay. Student of what? And when you will be looking for a job, probably you will not be a student anymore. So I would go ahead and and put petroleum technology. Okay, so I would put right under your name, petroleum engineer, immediately. And so again, so because it's clear, same comment as before. job descriptions, looking for the most interesting and most repeated, most required skills in those job descriptions. Use those skills to write your introduction. I like me personally, I really love this format with a large column main body and the little column on the side for the skills, the contacts, and certifications, all of those things. So that's a format that I like, and it's very effective. Counter chronological order, perfect, from the most recent to the most past experience. This is very good. Okay, one thing. This is another comment that I sent. Among these experiences, which hard skills did you get that will help you in your future job? So, because here I have a list of things that you have done. I'm missing some numerical results, so please try to think about some projects that you have worked in. Put some numbers. HSC supervisor. Was it just a training, or were you actually an HSC supervisor? Because in that case, you can have 0 accident recorded while I was a supervisor, which is a very good number, and it's a very good thing to put. So try to think about the projects that you collaborated and you worked to achieve, what you have reached, what you have achieved, and put some numbers. That's very important. And some skills out of these experiences to make it, I want your resume to be a little bit more juicy. For example, that's why I highlighted this. You see, I put here teamwork. This experience that you have, it's very interesting if you want to justify that you can be a good leader and that you have some teamwork experience. Okay, so again, combine as much as possible skills with your experience. And which one of these internship should you expand more? The answer will be in the job descriptions that you will study. You will download 10, 15 job descriptions for jobs that you would like to do and you think you're a good fit for. Among that, you will see and you will think about your experience while studying them and think about which are the experiences that I have among these that are most aligned with this, with the request from this job. And so maybe you will have a couple of these experiences that you will expand, put some extra bullet points, and maybe you will just erase some of the others. Another thing, I would love your internship to be before your education, and you can high school. Yeah, you can delete the high school. Okay, for the rest, good content. I like it. Okay, that was correct. Okay, thank you. Your name, Zaid. Nabil, here you go. Give me 1 second. Because I'm very sorry, like my throat, it's garbage. Okay. Is it short? Yes, it's short. Oh, by the way, guys, very good. Like usually, 3 CVs out of 5, at least, more than 50% of the CVs that I get are extremely long and extremely not well crafted. So, very good job. Congrats. So, 1 page, yes. Is it visual? Yes, I like it. Again, I like the colors. I like the layout. I don't really like the colors. I don't know if you're into soccer, but those, black and red, those are the colors of Milan. And, that's not my team. My team is Inter. So if you can substitute the red with some blue, that would be fantastic. So now, by the way, jokes aside, it's okay. In general, I would avoid red, like heavy, bright tone of red, just because usually in your mind you align red with danger, with something that is not correct. So I don't know, maybe I'm a big fan of orange, for example. But then, you're absolutely free to do to go with the colors that you like the most. This is something, usually I like something a little bit softer. Uh, but that's, it's a good CV. Under your name, your job qualification. Okay, I know you have it here. I would like that to be under your name, pretty big. Okay. Um, Same thing. Which are the most important skills that you will find in your job description? Use them here. Very cool, machine learning. That's super cool. By the way, I'm working right now on a cover letter for a friend of mine who's actually applying for a PhD for machine learning. So very, very cool subject. Okay, experience. Very good. Bravo. You put the experience before your education. That's something that I like if you have a good experience. And so that's perfect. Online internship of more than 50 webinars provided with quizzes. Okay, cool. Here, I like the number. The fact of the quizzes, maybe put it, maybe not. Let's, if you have space, maybe you can put a little bit smaller. One thing that I would like you to do here is think about all of the webinars that you have seen, all of the webinars that you have seen, everything that you have studied, and cross-referencing with the job descriptions that you're going to download, that you're going to find, that you're going to study. Take 3, 4, 5 webinars that you have seen, you've studied, that you think are the most relevant to the job that you will apply for. Okay, so if you had, for example, webinars on wireline, webinars on drilling, webinars on well searching techniques, okay, and then you want to apply to a job which is related to well exploring, perfect. Take the webinars that are about that subject and name them. I know that you cannot name 50 plus webinars, so put something like attended more than 50 plus webinars, passed the test with flying colors, webinars included, webinars, among those webinars, most interesting subject, blah blah blah, or put it, the webinars included these and that. You name the 2-3 webinars that were most related to the job that you're applying for. Maybe you also want to include a couple of skills that you have learned through that webinars. So elements of well analysis, or real case study of a well exploration. I'm throwing names, but you understand what I mean. You see what are the most required things and select the webinars accordingly. Okay. Okay, this is a little bit too technical, ZEA05, but this is very interesting because you have done something. Perfect. So elaborate a little bit more. I would recommend you to put a font, maybe a little bit smaller. I think this is probably, I don't know, 14, probably. You can use like a 10 as a, how big the font is. Couple of bullet points, and explain a little bit better what you have done here. But it's very nice. I love this technical experience. I love this experience in real companies. Those are extremely valuable. By the way, that's something super common to many of you guys. I am so impressed. You speak so many languages. It's unbelievable. I barely speak one, so which is not English, of course. So I barely speak Italian. That's all I got. So same exact thing for these other experience. Write what you have done, the the goal that you have achieved, try to put it in a way that your grandmother would understand it. Okay, non-technical. Very good. Congrats. Let me see. I've seen some question coming. Um, it's good that the color of the resume follow the color. Oh, that's. Haha. So I had one of my students. She actually applied for Gucci, and one thing that I did, I I, I matched the color of her resume with the color of Gucci. Um, yes, that's something that you can do that I personally like very much. Um, it's not gonna make the difference. It's not that they're gonna hire you because you used that color, but if you can, why not? That's something that I did, and it worked. I mean, she was extremely good. The resume was very nice in general, besides the colors. But yeah, you can definitely do that, and yeah, that's a very nice tip. So yes, definitely feel free to do that. Very good. Guys, do you have any other questions? There is another CV that I would like to review with you. And if we don't have anybody else connected that I have his or her resume, I think we can call it a day after this. So let's see. Is it short? Almost. So one page. I would like this to be just one page. Um, you can eliminate fresh graduate, drilling engineer. Then I see, that you graduated last year. I understand that you're a fresh graduate, but drilling engineer. That's enough. Summary again. I will repeat that to death. Job descriptions, which are the most important skills. Use those skills to craft your description. Education. Okay, let me see the work experience first. So we have 3 months. Oh, that's very long. That's very long. I like it. Perfect. Okay. What? No, wait. What is it? Amazing all this. Okay. That's not related to the. Okay. Good. Okay. Um, we could. Yeah, I would definitely put the work experience first, and I would love you, Ismail, to elaborate more about the job that you have done. So the achievement that you have reached, what is the value that you brought? What are the you know how many acquitted with casing 17 procedure? Okay, how many um, case study have you done? How many try to put some numbers. Now I was thinking, have you been on the field? Have you been on the field? Like how many fields? What was the project? How many studied x different wells? 2, 3, 4 different wells and stuff. So I would definitely love more here on the first one. On the oil experience. Use the tour guide to justify your skills, and yeah, and that's good. But you see, guys, for example, this is good resume, good content. But me personally, you see how, for example, something like this, it's more impactful. That's why I think you can easily see the different visual impact of someone structured like this, the main body and the extra column, with something more standard like this one. Okay, not to say that this is not good, but I think that the other, this one, this model here, this template here, gives you the same space to write things, but some extra space to be a little bit more visual and impactful. So I would definitely advise to use a template similar to this. Yeah, for the rest, it's pretty good. Please elaborate, articulate more on your work experience, and select here the same thing. Select here which are the classes and the projects that you have done that align better with um, the with the job that you're applying for. Very good, guys. If you let me know if you have any question, and okay, I see a question. Let me see. I don't know the one about the color. Okay, I'll address that one. Guys, again, sorry for my voice. Let me know if you want to have another session together. We can have another session about the job interview. We can see how to get prepared for the most important questions, how to turn an interview to a conversation, which is very important, how to leave a very good memory of us to the interviewer, which are the best practices, how to prepare for that. And yeah, so let me know. We can definitely have another session. If you did enjoy this webinar, add me on LinkedIn if you want the resume. Please like and subscribe if you want to support the work that I'm doing. It has been a pleasure, and I'm very sorry for my voice. Next time it will be much, much better. And with that being said, I'm gonna leave you like other few seconds to if you have other question, and then I'm out. Okay, I see a question coming. Okay, let's see. Nasima, if you have got a lot of certificates, that's interesting, online, uh, can you include any on your resume? Yes, so that's a very interesting question. Yes, I would really love you to include those certifications. You can put some hyperlinks so that the person can actually click on the certification and go watch it. And you can create a section about certifications on your LinkedIn. So you can hyperlink your LinkedIn profile to the certification section. Okay, but one thing that I would do is which of, let's assume you have 10 different certifications. Okay, if you have a lot of them and you cannot name all of them, same thing as the work experience. We're gonna apply the same principle. So you're gonna study all of the job descriptions, and you're gonna understand among those 10 certificates which are the ones that are most valuable for the job that I'm going to do. Perfect. And I would like you to name those certification, hyperlink them, and maybe even just one quick bullet points on what you have learned through that certification. Okay. So yes, very good question, very good point. Please do include them and use an hyperlink. All right, guys, it has been a pleasure. My name is Pietro Galli. This is Tales of Startup. Like and subscribe if you want to know more. Add me on LinkedIn. It has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for being with me tonight and today. And what to say, I'm gonna see you very, 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 very soon. And I wish you all the best. Guys, take care. Thank you very much.